Why is it that some content marketers can make thousands of dollars per month, while others struggle along only getting paid around 20 cents per word? Well, the truth is it all comes down to their approach and where they focus their efforts, because there's a lot of ways to make money in this industry, each with their pros and cons. Likewise, there's a lot of ways to do it right and a lot of ways to mess it up. Hi, I'm Dan. I've been writing content for over a decade now, and I've tried out pretty much every technique you can think of to make money with content marketing. Some have made me thousands of dollars in a month, while others have done that in a day. Heck, I once wrote a single article that got me over $3 million in client requests in a week. So yeah, you can definitely make money here. You just need to be aware of each option and how to use them more effectively so you can sidestep the mistakes. Which is why in this video I'm going to break down some of the most popular methods that you can use to make money with content marketing, their pros and cons so you can see which appeals to you best, and finally the exact path I would take if I wanted to make $10,000 per month or more from content marketing as a solopreneur. So let's get started by understanding why Uber Eats does so well, even when people have a fridge full of food. So here's the thing. I went through my tax return recently and I was appalled by how much money I spent on Uber Eats. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized it wasn't such a bad thing. Sure, I could probably get more salads than burgers, but here's the deal. I'm at a point right now in my business where I do pretty well financially. However, I'm sometimes too busy to head to the supermarket and then cook and clean, etc. Especially if I have a project I'm working on with a deadline. What's even more insane though is when I sat down to do the math, I realized I would actually lose money by doing those things versus getting food delivered. What? The ROI of cooking for myself didn't make sense, and a lot of businesses are kind of in the same boat when it comes to things they need to do. They don't have the time to do all these tasks that they need to complete, but they do have money, which is why one of the fastest ways to make cash in any industry is to do services for people. So let's start there. Now there's a few options and variations, but the first most obvious one is to simply get a content marketing job. The pros are that it's recurring income each month. It can often pay more than a regular job as it requires specific skills and knowledge that can all be easily learned, but people don't. The cons, of course, are that not every job will pay as high as you want, and you're also capped at the salary. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It sounds good, but jobs near you are limited. So don't work for them. The cool thing about being a content marketer is that all you really need is a laptop and an internet connection, so you don't need to be limited to low-paying roles in your town. You can literally apply for companies all around the world. So for example, if you check out remote.co or wellfound.com, you'll find US-based companies that hire fully remote staff, often in asynchronous time zones. This means that you can work based on your own time of day from wherever you're based in the world. But better still, you also get paid in US dollars versus your local currency. So I'm currently in New Zealand and all my clients and customers are in the US and Canada. So I make around 1.6 New Zealand dollars for every $1 US earned. Even better though, those two sites I just listed are for startup type companies that are already killing it, with some of them paying as much as $200,000 a year for more experienced writers and editors. I say experienced though, but a lot of the time all they're looking for is, can you write content? Do you understand how to drive traffic to it? Do you understand SEO and keyword strategies? All of this is learned fairly easily, it just takes practice. Not only that, but if you set up and grow your own blog, you can use this as proof of skills and also a location to learn these things. That's all I did. I implemented, I learned, I made money. Alternatively, if you don't want a job, you could go freelance instead. However, let's make sure that we'll be smart about it. So the reason a lot of people struggle to get paid when they freelance is two things. They don't build authority or a name for themselves. Also, they try to be the cheapest option in the room because they think that's how you close more deals. The thing is, this isn't true. If anything, it can actually drive people away.
Ew.
You only have to look at sites like Upwork where you can have people charging $15 an article, while there's also people on there doing $150,000 a year. The main difference again, with the people who are making the most money, is that they build their own blog and content so they can attract clients. Then they simply have their services listed on Upwork or similar sites, so they can leverage the fact that you have people on there who are actively searching for service providers to help them. Because that's a major pro of these platforms. You don't have to try and convince them into becoming a customer. The customers are already going there to either list services they need fulfilled or to find professionals who are already advertising their services. Not only that, but Upwork or Freelancer, wherever, they handle payments and are a trusted platform. So for those starting out, it's a great way to get some easy content marketing experience. There are cons, of course. Upwork takes a commission. Also, with freelancing in general, it can take a while to scale up customers and get recurring revenue. So if you're doing this on the side of your day job or you want to transition into this industry, then that's fine because you'll have money coming in. Just know that if you started here with no other plan, it might take a while. However, there are other freelance options you can use though. Here's one I think you should definitely look into if you have a little more experience, and that's to be a freelance writer for content agencies. So here's how it works. These agencies have clients that need content, you write it for them, they pay you directly and cut out the rest of the tasks so there's no chasing invoices or anything like that. Huzzah! But still, these agencies will usually pay you a set price per article with the option to write as many as you want. This means you can drop in and out for a cash injection as needed. Not only that, but some of these agencies might even pay more than what you're currently earning. For example, this one here pays $500 per article. Do one a day, 5 days a week, and that's $10,000 a month, which is not bad at all. Alternatively, if you want to make even more money, you can build an agency of your own. Obviously, the agency must be making good cash to be able to pay their writers $500. So there's no reason you couldn't do the same if you wanted to, especially if you're willing to scale up and hire help. Pro, of course, is that if you specialize and learn to do this effectively, it can make millions. For example, the agency that I mentioned, the reason they can pay you $500 is because they specialize in a very specific type of content that drives sales. So for the customer, it's a no-brainer. They'll happily pay more for more sales because they're framing it against that instead of the cost of paying for an article. Another common example of agencies that do similar things is link building agencies that focus on guest posts. Basically, they write an article on a large website and make sure that the article has a link back to the client or even multiple clients in the same post. However, because they're selling their customers on the output of getting links instead of selling them on, I'll write a guest post for you, they can charge far more. In fact, links from these agencies will usually cost around $500 to $850 each, depending on how big the site is that you get the link on. This isn't bad, right? Especially if you're already writing guest posts for yourself and other clients. You could throw in a few links where relevant and easily make $3,000 per article. Do that a couple of times per week and you are way to the bank. However, the cons here with the agency, with any agency, is the same as freelancing. It can take time to scale up and get clients. Also, you're essentially capped by your output. At a certain point, you can only make X amount more sales before you need to bring on people. Also, each of these options has a common issue, and it's to do with hunting and farming.
Hunting, eh?
All these options I've mentioned so far are essentially hunting. What I mean by that is that hunters can go out and get food today. It's fast and it's efficient. However, they can only ever get so much at a time. Also, if they get sick or injured, they don't eat because they couldn't hunt that day. These agencies and freelancing roles are the same. If you can't write and deliver a deadline, you don't get paid, and that gets stressful pretty fast. Whereas farmers have to wait a while for the food to come around, but once they've done the work, they have it all year, rain or shine. Not only that, but they can grow far more food than you can think possible from a single person because all their efforts compound. The hours of work they put in today reaps far more reward. These next methods are more like farming. They can be slow at first, but the scale and recurring revenue is freaking insane. So check this out. Affiliate marketing is simply where you include links to products on your website and in your content. Then if someone clicks and buys from that link, you get a commission at no cost to the reader. Basically just a small percentage of the value of sale. Some people focus on doing high ticket products so they can see a bigger return. TVs, PlayStations, computers, things like that. The key, however, is in recurring products. If you have an affiliate link to something, say like a software product, and usually what happens is you get paid a small amount, but you get paid every month that the person remains a customer. I have friends who did this for email marketing software years ago that still makes them $20,000 to $30,000 a month from an article they haven't updated in years. Do that with enough products and industries and you can make multiple 7-figure blogs. As your traffic goes up, so did the sales. So if you already have a blog, perhaps to attract clients, then it's a no-brainer not to do this also. However, the problem here is a lot of people start with the goal of only doing affiliate marketing and don't realize the time investment to reach past that tipping point. So they struggle to make money in the meantime. Also, companies can cancel their programs or change the percentages. Amazon did this and it meant huge differences in earnings for some affiliate blogs. There are ways around this though. You could simply pivot to different companies' products, or better still, you can make your own. So this could be books, courses, or even physical products, and it's the ultimate scalable revenue model because you own the traffic, you own the audience, and you own the offer. Heck, if you're selling digital products, once you've got past the initial time investment and costs to run and build, it can mean profit margins of around 80 to 90% or more, and the scale is freaking insane. I know one guy who, no joke, makes around $100,000 a month from a digital training program. And no, that's not a typo. In fact, he also has affiliate offers at the same time, so his total earnings, I think, are around $400,000 a month. He has a team of people helping him, but he got started and set up to around 20k insanely fast. It's not just digital though. I have a student of mine who makes around 120k a year selling Dungeons and Dragons books that he writes himself, and he just chills out the rest of the time. He has a Patreon where he answers readers' questions, and that's it. All built off the back of blog content. The simple fact is that each of these options can make you a lot of money if you know how to leverage them properly and go into it understanding the pros and cons and the time frames. So here's my roadmap of what I would do if I was starting from scratch and I wanted to make 10k per month with my content marketing skills. The first thing I would do is I would set up my own blog on a paid WordPress account. As I've said multiple times throughout this, you want your own platform. This will build authority and let people remember who you are so you can charge more. No one ever remembers the author on sites like Medium, etc. They say, I read a cool article at X site. It's better they say, I read it at your site versus I read it at Medium. Not only that, but these sites can delete your content at any time, so build your own blog. It'll allow you to build an audience you can sell to, do affiliate marketing, or pivot to an agency later on. So why WordPress and not Wix or Squarespace? They're all pretty much the same price, but the simple fact of the matter is that WordPress is used by around 70% of the internet. So all the tools and plugins you'll need. Also, there's a heap of free advice about how to do things on there. Step 2 is to look legit. So while I'm setting up my WordPress website, maybe with GoDaddy or whatever, I would grab a domain level email so it looks professional. So my name at mysite.com. This way, if people contact me, it's not Gmail or anything like that. As for the blog design, you only really need 3 pages, and anything else is a bonus. You need a homepage so people can see what you do, a blog page to share content, an about/contact page where you could possibly list services. Also, almost all web design these days is just drag and drop page builders, so you can simply find a design you like and then add and remove elements on the page to design it how you want. It's super simple. Step 3 is to build an audience. So next I would grab Kit, which is an email software. It used to be called ConvertKit, and it's free for the first 10,000 subscribers. This will allow you to collect emails and will help you grow and sell products and services, share new content. Don't skip this. I did because I only had about 5 articles on my blog when I first started out. It cost me thousands of dollars in potential sales, and I'll share why in a second. Step 4 is to practice writing. So I would write 5 to 6 articles for my site. As for the topics, it depends on what you want to write about. Passion products, like I said, Dungeons and Dragons, or skill projects, they can all make bank. If you have a skill you use day to day, such as coding or something, you can make cash fast this way. There's blogs about Microsoft Excel that make 6 figures a year, so if you use that in your day job, you could easily write a blog about this. As for the actual article topics, the easiest thing to do is answer the biggest questions people have about your industry, or look at trending topics and write your own versions. As for how to write, writing at a pro level isn't that hard. It's just that pros have systems and processes to make it easier for them and always produce high quality. It's the same reason that McDonald's can take kids with no job experience and get the same quality burger made millions of times per day all around the world. Systems make life easier and repeatable. I have a video that I'll share in a second that breaks down my entire writing process for free, that you can copy and use. Step 5 is to grow that audience. So once I've written that content, I would share it on social media, on forums, and write guest posts to link to it. Don't skip forums. So that $3 million of client requests I mentioned at the start of the video, that was from a single forum thread. Basically, I shared an in-depth article that was a blend of a case study and a how-to guide on a forum. I showed the work I did with a client and how we did it, step by step. I woke up and it had been read over 50,000 times, and I went on to receive 300 client requests for a $10,000 service in that week alone. What was mad is I had no way to contact me or even a way of collecting emails. I'm still not even sure how those people found my details. If I had email in place, I would have made so much more money. Step 6 is to make that first dollar. So if you've never written for a client before, I would create an Upwork account and list my services, price myself mid-range to high because of the writing process, link back to my content as proof of quality, and then pitch some client jobs. The reason I would do this, if you're a beginner, is because the first dollar you make online is the thing that totally changes your viewpoint on what's possible. Not only that, but it'll give you some practice writing and also experience and confidence so you can start to scale up and ask for more. The jobs on there don't even need to be a perfect fit or an ongoing client. We just want to get paid so we can get some momentum and then carry on. You'll be surprised what you see on there. So for example, there's a gig here for someone to watch this person's videos and then transcribe them into articles, and then optimize it for Google search. The fee is $150 per video, super simple. I have another video on my channel about how to optimize content for Google, that I'll link below in the description. Step 7, make some real money and start to build. So, this is my personal preference, but once I'd written a few more articles and guest posts, I'd reach out to that $500 an article agency so I could start making some real money. However, I wouldn't do it full time at $10K a month. Instead, I would do it semi-part-time so that I could also spend time growing. That way I'm kind of blending hunting and farming at the same time. You could easily do 3 articles a week for the agency at $1,500, and then write articles and guest posts for yourself on those other days and start scaling your traffic. Disclaimer, the only reason I don't choose the link building agency option here is just because I don't want to build a team of people. I just want to make enough compound income to chill out instead, but if you did that, you could make so much money. And so yeah, I would go the affiliate and product route instead. 3 articles for the agency, 1 affiliate guide, 1 guest post, every week with the weekend off. Now don't freak out if it sounds like a lot of content to create, because once you follow a process, it's fairly simple. I've actually upgraded my process again over time, and I've actually added AI as an assistant into it so it can help me with some of the time sync tasks, optimizing content and things like that. So this output level would actually be fine. It would be pretty easy. Then I just rinse and repeat and continue to scale up over time until I'm actually losing money by writing for that agency and would make more money writing for myself. Then simply commit to doing that instead. Do that for 12 months and I have no doubt you could hit 10k or more. Another 12 and you could hit 2x or 5x that. Heck, you could even add in some of your own products and you'd be laughing. Maybe a course on whatever your blog is about, so perhaps how to use Microsoft Excel or something to save time in your daily lives. Who knows? However, remember, you do need to be able to write professionally before you can take advantage of any of this. So check out this video next where I share my step-by-step writing process completely for free. And not only get you up and running fast, but it'll also help you to sidestep the major mistakes that beginner writers make and waste their time.